Hi everyone, it's Lynn, and today let's talk about what's going to be on the menu for May. This is my newest kit of the month, Storybook, and it is really kind of special. What I like about kits that offer you variety is that you can actually create a lot of pages and use them for different moments in your life. So I like the fact that here I've created 12 scrapbook pages using the Storybook collection. And you could use it for spring, garden time, planting, flowers. There's new baby or a nursery. Maybe you like to read books to your grandchildren. You can do it for nap time, strawberry picking. There's really lots of different ideas. So I like that you have that option to use one kit in lots of different ways. You'll see that I have these different titles on the pages, but you can definitely change it out to make it your own title of what you like. So let's check it out. This is the Storybook Moments DSP, as well as this 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and then it has two sheets of these adorable little iconic images that remind me of Peter Rabbit or nursery rhymes, Mother Goose, and things like that. So you'll start to look at it a little differently, but I can't wait to show you how I've used them on the pages. All of this DSP here, designer series paper, but this pattern right here is one sheet that also you can cut apart, which we'll be doing to use on the pages. So let's check it out. On to the next item. Let's look at the Timeless Plaid. Now these are 6 by 6, and if you did the Winter Meadows with me, we used this paper already. And you do not need another pack. You'll be using your scraps that were left over to create this. But we are definitely adding some of the corals, the cherry cobbler color, some of the blues, and this plaid color in here. So it's been fun playing with them. They're really fun to work with. The Storybook Life two-tone cardstock is a must. I am using all of the colors. We have Coral Calypso, Wild Wheat, Old Olive, Lost Lagoon, Boho Blue, and Crumb Cake. I did add 2 sheets of pecan pie for the last set of pages. If you don't have that, you can order pecan pie or use something similar, maybe another set of crumb cake. Just wanted to show you that I am using these antique pearls. Now, we own these already if you purchase them for a previous kit. And I'm showing you here that if you use the Pecan Pie Stampin' Blends, I'm using the darker one to color these in and use them on some of the pages. I think it's the last set of pages. Oh, here it is right here. And it really makes a difference. Look at those cute little animals. Aren't they adorable? I've also used the corrugated 6 by 6 embossing folder, but feel free to use any embossing folder of your choice. Once again, I've pulled out these alphabets to help me with the title. I definitely recommend the adhesive sheets to use if you're going to use these to glue right to your paper. It just makes it so easy. Back in stock are everyday arches, and we use these with Wildflower Birthday. So it's one of these items that's going to be maybe here for a little bit, or I don't know, but they work so well, and I've only used them a few times on these pages, so you could see if that works for you. All right, here we go with the artwork. So these are pages 1 and 2. Now look how pretty that came out. I love the soft look, and I wanted to let you know I'm using about 10 or 11 sheets of very vanilla cardstock. When I did my very vanilla bases, I only had the sheets that are the same color on both sides. Starting May 6th, Very Vanilla will come in a 2-tone option. So you can get the 2-tone of the Very Vanilla on one side and a lighter tone on the other. Now you're going to have the option to flip it over to the light side. I didn't have that. So I just wanted to let you know you can play around with that. But I love this layout right here. The colors are very pretty together. And now you can see where that Timeless Plaid really came in handy. We're tearing some paper, and I'm using the arch dies. Here's the 2-page spread, and you can see how I just sprinkled some of those cute little squirrels on the pages. Now, these are all punch-outs, so I punched them up with some dimensionals, and I'm using some more of those timeless plaids as well. Love the way this came out. It's just so fun with those cute little squirrels. Here's a close-up, and I've added a little bit of those antique pearls, as you can see here, in the natural color. Look at that cute squirrel with a little bit of a punch out down here. That's the dirt and the grass. There's another one of those cute squirrels. Sunshine and warm days, little bicycle there. And we are now going into the next set of pages 3 and 4, Some Bunny Special. Here is where you can see I've used the arch again, and we actually are creating a frame on this one. So that's always a nice option. Remember, you can use these arches to cut your photos as well. But look how pretty this came out. Now, this is the crumb cake bases, the strawberry paper, the bunny paper. The fencing is a punch out. So that's why I really liked all of those punch outs, because it gave me an opportunity to really have fun and use them. Some strawberries, bunnies, and now you can see I tore the paper on the bottom to create the grass look and adding those little punch outs as well. Here's the spread together, pages 1 and 2, and you have this cute little bunny with the radishes here and a little bit more of that fencing. Here's a close-up. Isn't that adorable? Cute little bunny. Now here you can see I put one of those punch-out flowers behind the fence line and popped up that big radish sticker. Really fun. Now this is pages 5 and 6, and it's You Are So Sweet. These are stickers, so you can change this title out. And I'm adding the lace doily die cuts that we used with Close to My Heart. Now, this is optional for you. If you use a Cricut, add whatever kind of design that you want there, but I really love those laces, and I'm glad that we're using them again. Many of you own them. What I liked about this is I'm combining the very vanilla, old olive, boho blue paper, as well as that calypso floral stripe pieces or strips, as well as this plaid here. It just made it so pretty. Here's the spread right next to each other, 5 and 6, using all of those cute little strawberries. So the concept was about, using that blue paper, but picking up more of the pinky red for the strawberries. And that's what I loved about the lace. So we have the 6-inch lace here, a 3-inch here, and then the 3-inch down here. Popping up those strawberries, adding those antique pearls, as you see here. Once again, popping up these flowers, antique pearls. Those antique pearls are really pretty. And I added one of those little ducks and one of those cards. So that would be a journaling spot. Pages 7 and 8. Now we're going into some of that Lost Lagoon paper and this really fun, I kind of call it like a Hobbit look, cottagey paper. Cute little mouse here. Now, if you notice, I stamped around the edges. Use whatever background stamp you have and you can use crumb cake ink, you can use wild wheat or acorn. And I did do a little bit of sponging with the brushes on the edges as well. So I just did the top and bottom. Our story is stamped, and you can use whatever title you want, but if you have the stamp set, I thought it would be fun to add that. So this could be books or anything, but it's our story. Maybe you went to the zoo. Maybe you're outside doing some gardening. Have fun with the title and what you would like. And this could easily be baby pages with the baby's name here instead because of all the cuteness going on here. Here's that 6-inch lace again, and this is on one of the other plaids. It's really nice to mix in. Oh, let me just show you. You can't see it there, but that's the 3-inch lace underneath in a Lost Lagoon plaid. I used those arches to cut out 2 of those cards and another 3-inch lace. I stamped the word memories, but you can add whatever title you want there. Punch outs and stickers are being added, sprinkled in, and just adding to the look, right? And here, notice the stamping and sponging are on the base page. So just have fun with what you might have in your stash. Okay, I think this is pages 9 and 10. And this is plant and watch them grow. And I want to show you a close-up of this in a minute. But look at that gorgeous lace piece. I've actually swiped it with the blue ink. So you could use boho ink, Night of Navy, or the sapphire. I actually did that look as well, swiping some paper and then cutting out the titles. So it's plant seeds. You see these little seed packets? Those are punch outs. Plant seeds, watch them bloom. This could definitely be your kids on these pages. It could be your garden. So you have a lot of options of how you want to play this out with your photos. Isn't that cute? Love those little boots that are here. Those cute little squirrels again, and that garden going on. I just had fun tucking them in. So yes, here's the plant, and I did use the corrugated embossing folder to make that wavy, that arch that's behind there. The rest are punch outs. And just having fun with that in a little strip of paper and the word plant. So now you could really see how the blue was added to change the look and distress that paper to give it a really denim, soft denim look. Same thing with Watch Them Bloom. Those are using the 2 stamp sets, but you can change the title out to whatever you want. And look at all the cuteness going on here. Now, I did stamp like a sand stamp. I know many of you have that in your arsenal. Just use whatever you'd like here to get those little dots to make it look like dirt all over the place. Isn't that fun? Oh, I thought that was so much fun. And that's using that wild wheat paper, 2-tone, light side and dark side, tearing it and creating this fun look with the carrots and items being planted. So just having a lot of fun thinking along the lines of a garden. Cute little squirrel again. Now here's the last set of pages, 11 and 12. So remember I talked about I used pecan pie cardstock. Some of you might already own this. Another color, if you had close to my heart, that's close to it, would be toffee. You could probably go in the brown family too with early espresso or espresso. So mocha might work as well. So just check to see if you don't have pecan pie, what else could work for you. So it's just one of those things. I wanted to pull out the brown that was in the paper. And I really loved how I did this triangle look and captured this fun design. Sleep tight. So it could be Sleepy Night. It could be Sleep. I mean, change your title out and you'll have an opportunity to make these a little bit longer if you want to. But I love how I use the corrugated embossing folder along the bottom here on this strip. And then I popped up all of these cute little characters that are all punch outs. And now you can see how I use those dots as well, where I colored them in the antique pearls and I used the pecan pie blending marker to color them in. And I probably did about 3 coats to get them nice and rich in that color. Isn't that fun? Though look at this with the Lost Lagoon cardstock in the background. Really bringing all the colors together. And let's get a close-up of some of the images. I really, really love this one. This was on one of the cards, and I used the Everyday Arch dies. Then I did a piece on the wild wheat. Then I did a piece on the espresso timeless plaid paper. This, I think, is a sticker here. And now you can see how rich those pearls came out with the darkness by doing 3 coats. But I just love this, and it's Mother Goose. Okay, that's how I look at it. But you know what? When my kids were little, I used to take them to the park, and there were always ducks that we would feed. So I could have had any kind of those photos on here as well. And then you could change your title out to whatever is part of your story. But look at all those cute little images that are just popped up, and now you can really see everything here. And I sponged those edges on the corrugated paper just to add a little more depth. I sponged these edges as well. Everything pretty much on here is sponged because it just adds another layer of color and design. Now here's another one of those arches. Now look at this cute little girly mouse coming out of the teacup, right? So you could probably use some of these images for Disney as well. Just pick and choose the ones that you would want to create artwork for that. But love these little guys. They're just playful. The artwork, the design work on their faces really is wonderful. Now, another thing that I did is I created these cards. I did see another consultant created these designs. I can't remember her name, but I used those ideas, and then I used the leftovers of the timeless plaid. I used the frames, these die cuts that we have. They're like a puzzle frame work in different sizes. And then I use the rest of those punch outs, and I'll show you the stamp set that's used here as well. It just adds a little bit of color in the background. So I made a Father's Day, a thank you. Cute, right? Now this is also a stamp that's on this sheet, so I'll show you once I get there. But it's just creating them all the same, and just popping up your images and adding a couple of butterflies and changing out the sentiments. Here it is, the Elements of Text Cling Stamp. So it has all the words in a circle. Then we have the vertical, which are being used on some of these here. And I did not use this one, but this just adds some texture to the background so you could see it. And then these dirty spots right here were stamped here. So if you do get this, you might want to use these stamps out on the dirt that I showed you before. So this is a really nice, and it's cling, meaning it's a rubber stamp. Well, there you have it. That's all the artwork for Storybook. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely check out my shopping list. With the purchase of $75 or more, you will get the cutting guide. And I hope you really enjoy putting all these pages together.